Hi everyone, my name is Lily and welcome back to my channel. Today I am drawing Dandy from Space Dandy. I just recently started rewatching the show with my boyfriend and it's hilarious and I love it and it's so aesthetic in so many ways. So I just knew I was gonna do Dandy fan art at some point. I technically by the time this is uploaded I'll have done this last week because I need to spend this week's working on commissions. So, so this is a little preemptive. But that being said, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I struggled a little bit with the shapes because it's not a character I would ever normally draw. And I lost the footage where I started drawing the face and the head. I don't know what happened to it, it just didn't record. But, it's whatever, it's fine, it's just like 20 seconds. But here's this, and I hope you guys like it, and if you've never seen Space Dandy, definitely give it a watch, because it's way underrated for how good it is, and the animation is fantastic. I adore it. My favorite character is definitely Dandy. I feel like that's kind of obvious. I also like the episode where they're hopping through dimensions and there's the femme Dandy. She's really cool. I might draw her in the future. But this is going to be a print coming up soon. I'm going to be listing it on my Etsy and it's going to be in my print selection for cons. So the biggest challenge with this piece was the coloring, and that's not very usual for me. I wanted to stay a little bit more true to the original style than to make it my style, because I'm not really sure how I want to draw guys just yet. So I left the hair very simple and the shading very simple, and I think it looks okay. It's just not my normal. I kind of struggled on how I wanted to do it, but I ended up just basically shading the hair exactly how they shade it in the show, and I think it looks fine. With hairstyles like this, especially because they're mostly male hairstyles, and shorter hairstyles in general, I kind of struggle with. I'm just so used to drawing girls and not drawing anything close to masculine, so it's whatever. I was a little bit unsure if I wanted to draw him in his spacesuit or if I wanted to draw just the Letterman jacket. I ended up going with the Letterman jacket because it has this iconic star on the back and it's just good. It's so extra and I love it. You'll see a little bit later, I also struggled a little bit with the background. I wanted it to be more than just a solid color gradient, which is what I always do. If you've seen any of my art, you'll know it's pretty much just that. I thought about just doing stars because a lot of the backgrounds in the show are just space, NASA photos. And I didn't like the way it looked. It didn't vibe with the picture well, I think. So I ended up going with something a little different. And you'll see, I tried a couple different variations, but I'm happy with how the final came out. And also drawing the gun was surprisingly easy. I don't normally draw weaponry, I don't normally draw anything that's like that, but because it's such a simple shape, I was actually pretty happy that I didn't struggle too much with it. And for the hand, I ended up taking a reference picture of my own hand, because I own a prop diva gun, and so I used that as a reference to the hand because I had no idea how I was going to draw it. I also kind of find it funny that, when I'm drawing this, it was the day of, Cowboy Bebop's, anniversary or whatever, birthday, or I don't know what you'd call it, but the day it came out, and, they're made by the same studio, but they're very, very different. So I think it's kind of funny that I was drawing Space Dandy on, Cowboy Bebop day. But again, I'm pretty happy with how this came out. It's definitely way different than what I normally do. You guys know, I draw full body females. And that's that's the extent of what I do. So this was really nice to get out of my comfort zone. I kind of struggle with thinking that if it's not full body, it's not interesting. which is not true at all. But I feel like in order to have a full, like, interesting illustration, it has to be full body. And in drawing this, I'm hopefully gonna kind of break out of that mindset a little bit, because it doesn't have to be full body to be interesting. It doesn't have to be, you know, intricately posed to be interesting. And I kind of, for some reason, like, I never used to draw full bodies. I would only draw portraits, and then I started drawing full bodies, and now I can't stop. I feel like it's a weird, like, I've got myself into this rut, and I'm really trying to break out of it, because you can have very interesting compositions with just parts of the, like, from the waist up, in this case from, like, the ribs up, or, you know, like, it's just a matter of artistic liberties, I suppose. I don't know how you'd explain it, but I'm trying to break out of that, and I think with this, it helped me a little bit to understand that it doesn't have to all be, like, the same. You can play with it and have fun and shake things up. I really struggled on the hair, like, shine here for some reason. Like, I wanted it to have a very anime, like, jagged shape, but I just couldn't make it work, because it's not what I do at all. Whenever I do hair shine, I normally do, like, I don't know if you've probably seen it, but I'll take a really flat, really round brush, and I'll just, like, dab it, and then I'll blend it so it, like, kind of gradiates. But in this original style, they don't do that. They just have, like, the hair shine. So it was a bit of doing, but I'm happy with how it came out again. It's weird too, because this face shape, he's got a very big chin and a very, like, pronounced nose, and, like, it's very dynamic, and it's not feminine at all, and I know that's the point. So it was really fun to figure out how I wanted the proportions to look, and figured out, like, how I was gonna shade it and everything. I wanted to not put a whole bunch of shading on it, because I wanted to keep it simple, because at this specific point, I was expecting the stars to be the background, and if he would be complex, the background, he would get lost in the background, you know what I mean? There would be no balance, so I wanted to keep him simple. It ended up working out anyway for the background that I did go with, but I like this really simple shading style, honestly. Like, it gets the job done, and it works well with the specific way that I draw, I think. And I might start using it, like, simplifying the way I shade more. And I know I've talked about that a little bit in the past, is trying to simplify it so it fits with my style more, but again, I'm learning that it doesn't have to be overly intricate to be interesting. So that's kind of my personal growth message of my day today. It can be simple and still be fun to look at and cool, and, you know, people might want it. But anyway, give me a thumbs up if you've watched Space Dandy, even if you don't like it, just if you've watched it, because it's like, I feel like nobody's really seen it. Give me a thumbs up if you have. And I'm also going to give a quick shout out to my patrons, Radiance, my friend, my boyfriend Lucy, and my dad James. Thank you so much for your support. You can check out my Patreon, the link below, and all of their Twitters will be linked below as well. If you pledge, you also, you know, you get shouted out every video, so it's like free marketing, right? I'm not going to go into the whole Patreon spiel like I normally do, but it's just a big thank you to my supporters there. Here you're gonna see me do the background, and I knew after I didn't do the space, like just the NASA image, I wanted to do bright colors, because if you've ever seen the show, you know it's very bright and colorful. There's a lot of, like, kind of psychedelic, like, imagery and colors and stuff, so that's why I did those. And I kind of did, like, primary colors, but, like, pastel, so you got, like, red, blue, and yellow, but the red is actually pink, the blue is actually cyan, you know, the yellow is more pastel. And I go through and I add a bunch of stars and sparkles and, like, background effects, and then I end up putting the space image, the NASA image, back over it and desaturating it a lot, or, like, turning the opacity way down. so that way it still adds texture, but it's almost unseeable, and you'll see it in just a second. But I like the way it looks a lot. And if I end up like not liking it, you know, this is why you save your clip files. So you can go back. At first I thought I was gonna do like the colors more subtle, and then I was like, nah, I'm gonna do the stars more subtle. It looks better, way better. And that is about it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you know, let me know. Subscribe, like, whatever, all that good stuff. And definitely go check out the links I've listed. Everybody down there is awesome, including myself. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.